Hi, everybody. So I am doing another bonus recording today because I don't have as many coaching sessions. Sorry about that. And I know that the last video I didn't get to listen to it, but it may have, I was using the microphone. I think it defaulted to the microphone from my laptop. So I just changed this microphone to the main a better microphone. So hopefully you were still able to hear the last video, but I am more concerned with the content than I am with some of the prettiness or the tech of it. But please let me know if there are any issues with not being able to hear the videos, and I will be happy to record it again. I'm not as tech savvy as I could be, so I haven't been recording videos to share, but I will get better at it and hopefully we'll be able to share a lot more videos. Okay, so this one, again, it's just to answer questions you guys have about what subjects to prioritize and how to now hone in 3 weeks away. And of course, as you're studying throughout the process, I've always been talking about you need to prioritize, and it's okay if you don't get everything down. It's a matter of prioritize and focusing on the most frequently tested subjects. And so now that becomes even more important. So 3 weeks away, you're not going to be able to go back and study everything, and you're really more of a moving into your review process at this time ideally. So what you want to do is this is the NCBE's subject matter outline, and it is focused specifically for the MBE questions. But remember, for most of you, the EUBE jurisdictions, that this is weighted 50% of the grade. And as far as I know, and I have to confess that I haven't looked more recently at how the bar examiners are grading grading those numbers when they're grading, but it's as far as I understand, they grade it to the MBE, and I can do a video on that, how the grading works, but it's curved to your writing portion is curved to the MBE questions. So the MBE portion is the most important, and fortunately we get a little bit more information about what they test on the MBEs. You know that they are going to have 200 questions. 175 of those will count, 25 of those will be experimental questions. And so they are not discriminating against any subjects. There are 7 subjects, and of course we've got that criminal law and procedure, which to a lot of you I recommend splitting up. Well, all of you I always recommend studying them separately. And then for contracts, it is a good idea personally, I think, to split them up, studying as sales and then as common law. So setting that aside, those areas like the criminal law and procedure, they treat that as one subject, and contracts, sales, and common law is treated as one subject. And I'll think about if you guys want a video of just always feel free to ask for which video you'd like to do for you to review. But I can also summarize strategies to go through the MBE questions, because one of the tips that I give to you guys is to make sure that once you identify the question is in the contracts area, you need to then clarify or get an understanding of whether or not it's common law or sales. And if you study during the study process them separately, then your brain is more in the habit of treating them as two separate subjects and get to the correct answer more easily, I think. And so 25 questions, each of the 7 subjects, you know that there's just nothing mysterious about that. You know there's going to be 25 questions from those sets. And I'll go back and do the breakdown a little bit more so that I can give you more specific as to how many questions will come from which narrow areas. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do that and upload it as well. But at this point, all you need to know, and I did the math, you're going to have to trust me on this, but I'll have my husband, he's a MIT graduate, so he's more in tune to the math and the statistics and everything. But we'll go through that and I'll kind of give you a sense of where the bang for your buck is. But the idea is you've got 200 questions, 25 each from the 7 subjects. And this gives you a good idea about what kinds of things within the subjects they focus on. So my recommendation at this point, and again, you're not going to be perfect in your studying, but you're just narrowing it down. Remember, you don't need to be perfect. You need to just keep making progress, and it's minimum competency. Most jurisdictions you get 67.5%, and you will be able to cross that mean score. So keep that in mind. And my suggestion to you, for you to focus in and not get overwhelmed, is to look at how they're phrasing things, what they're testing you on, and just focus on the big portions, prioritize those first for the next 3 weeks. And here you would see that approximately 2/3 of the civil procedure questions will come from 1, 3, and 5. So in civil procedure, study those areas first. So I highlighted that. If you guys would like a copy of this, just message me and then I'll email it to you. But then half of the constitutional law questions are from category 4. So it's all right, skip through and just get a solid understanding of the individual rights section. And we go down to contracts, and they say half of the contracts will be the sections, and go through and get to that section. Criminal law, prioritize that section. I mean, criminal law and procedure, you've got section number 5. So this can really narrow your focus down so you're not overwhelmed. And 1/3 of the evidence section is in section 2, that's relevancy and reasons for excluding relevant evidence. Some of you may be surprised that it's not hearsay. Hearsay is just such and they of course test hearsay, and it's pretty heavily tested in a sense, but 1/4 of the category, 1/4, okay, so 1/4 on category 5. Okay, so 1/3 on category 2. So 1/4 and 1/4 of evidence questions is in category 1. 1/3 is in category 2, and that's why I highlighted it, because it's more. But if you look at the hearsay, that's 1/4, so that's still big. If you understand hearsay, it's really okay for you to prioritize this and then prioritize hearsay below it. But if you really are very nervous about it, then prioritize hearsay before those relevancy section. But hearsay, once you sit down and focus on how to understand that definition, then it becomes fairly straightforward. So I I know that's another video that would be really good to do as well. So I'll start doing more videos as much as I can. If you guys have certain ones, then let me know and I can prioritize those. Real property is a tricky one because it's 1/5 in each of the sections, so they don't really provide any guidance as to what they favor more than the other. So my recommendation to you for the property subject area is look at the 5 categories and see which one you think is your worst subject in those 5 sections, and then pick that one to prioritize. Okay. Then torts, half of torts questions, of course, negligence. You should all know that by now. And so the way it works is, I think if you, and again, this is three weeks from today, and those of you who are watching this video who are preparing for the July exam, you can use the same concept and start planning how you're going to study more focused and more effectively, so that to get these subject areas down very solid by the time you get into the bar exam. But if you would just focus in those sections and really actually learn the materials, and I have talked about the difference between learning and studying or cramming, um, and how effective learning can be rather than just memorizing and cramming. Now, I also emphasize memorization, but the memorization needs to come after the learning. So some of you, if you haven't been coached by me before, that may not be what you have been doing, but right now, what you should do is try to get a good understanding of these subjects as much as you can and actually try to learn it. There's still enough time for you to learn it. And if you prioritize, then you won't have as much to learn. So if you focus on these sections of these areas that we highlighted, then what you could, and again, you'll just have to trust me on the math that I did. But it's something approximately, and you guys can correct me if you work it out yourself and it's not correct, and we will fix it together. But I think if you focus on that, and then assuming that you get like all the questions in those subjects correct, you can cover approximately 63.5% of your exam. And again, the passing mean score for the MBE portion is 67.5 for most jurisdictions. So if you can get this and get it down pat, then you're setting yourself up for success. And there's still 3 weeks away. There's still enough time. Just stay calm. And, if we need to have a session together, of course, I'm going to upload this onto YouTube. And so there's going to be some of you that aren't working with me personally. If there is enough, I haven't really been developing my YouTube community, but if there is enough of you out there, even if there's just 2 or so of you, I wouldn't mind just hopping on and do a Q&A, or just be there to chat or review information with you if you're needing additional support. Again, it's a time where some of you are getting overwhelmed and are not able to figure out what to focus on, and sometimes just talking to other people and taking some of the tips I have in this video here to plan for yourself, that can help. That can help you just at least get to working on something. And again, just let me know if you need support in a specific area, and I'll do my best to just help fill those gaps. Okay. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.